Okay, so welcome to the weekly update. Moving into the middle of August, or almost the end of August, things that you will not see anymore, things that you will see. So we'll start with the tank on my left. Do you see this? It's been a statement maker here for however long it's been here, which is a long time. It's gone. Somebody bought it this past week. So we might need to talk about what's going to go here. Other thing is, check it out, water. So we're testing the pond right now. We're getting ever a little bit closer. We're going to do saltwater, we're going to do freshwater. We had a meeting this morning. The guy was involved and everything was still fighting up in the air about which it was going to be. Everybody kind of made their cases. I personally would like saltwater, but we will see. So how about let us know? What else? Let's get into the story and get into the update. Okay, so one thing I'd like to bring up, I know if you're on Facebook, you've probably seen the posts and the fact that Driftwood is on sale, but you need to understand why it's on sale. We got 2-3 pallets worth of Driftwood this week, and I gotta tell you, any of you people who love sculpture and art, this is one of the best Driftwood shipments, I guess you could say, that we've ever had. There are some incredible pieces in here. So if you're doing a live planted tank, or you just want a focal point for a tank, in all sizes and all shapes, they're in here, but I want to show you a couple choice pieces. So to get right to the point, as you can see, there are some really killer Driftwood pieces. Some on slate, some not on slate. All look different in a lot of different ways. I think this is the dragon head that Kat likes so much. Yes, Kat?
Yeah, but it's upside down. I don't remember how it went, but if you... Oh, turn it towards me. Stop. No, go back. Right there. Dragon head.
Welcome to the weekly update.
Hey guys, it's Kat. Weird that I'm in front of the camera today instead of behind it, but Kevin's out this week, so I'm going to be showing you all the freshwater fish. But first, I do want to point out some cool stuff we got in this week. So, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Aquarium Co-op, but they have opened up their line of products to certain stores in the United States. So we were chosen to be one of them. Awesome. We are the only store in South Carolina currently carrying their products. So now instead of ordering directly through them, you can come see us and buy it yourself. We've got their fertilizers, their root tabs, plant weights, as well as these awesome sponge filters, which I absolutely love. They are a coarse sponge filter. These guys don't get clogged up like a lot of your finer sponge filters, so these guys are awesome. And then we got in these really cool, I forget what they're called, easy planters. So they're actually made to put the basket that your plants come in inside of that. These guys do well with things like a novice, Java fern, your bucephalandra, things like that. Crypts do really well with these guys too. But yeah, so come in, check this stuff out. If you guys like it, if we sell it, there's a lot more product that we can get in for you from Aquarium Co-op. That being said, I'm going to cut this off and let's go take a look at the freshwater fish. Alright, so first up we have Nimbochromis fuscotaneatus, also known as the Fusco. These are African cichlids that are native to Lake Malawi, western parts specifically. These guys are actually ambush predators, and in the wild they actually eat smaller cichlids for their diet. So that's fun. That being said, they came in absolutely gorgeous this week with those bright orange, reds, and blues on the face. They're going to get a lot more blue as they get older, but awesome little guy to add to your African cichlid tank. Alright, next up we have the Ember Tetra. These are one of my favorite nano tetras. These guys stay small, typically don't reach over an inch in size. With that orange-red color, they're absolutely stunning to add to a tank. They are schooling fish, so you do want to make sure you keep them in groups of 5 or more so they feel comfortable. But awesome little fish to add to any peaceful aquarium. Alright, so next up we have the dwarf gourami. This is just the the normal dwarf gourami, not one of the crazy color variants. But these guys are going to add a really nice pop of color with their blues, yellows, and reds. They are not as aggressive as a lot of the other large-bodied gouramis, so they can fit well into a peaceful community tank. These guys are all males. The females are more of a gray in color, but the males in this species are going to be the ones that have the nice, bright, beautiful colors to add a little pop to your tank. Next up on the list are these roseline sharks. I like these guys to add a little pop of color to your tank. They are a fast-moving, peaceful fish. That being said, any kind of food you drop into the water, these guys are going to get to it fairly quickly, which is why we typically recommend putting them with larger-bodied fish that can also get to the food not as quick as these guys can, just to make sure no one's getting starved out. But they are peaceful, so they're not going to go attacking any other fish or anything like that. They max out at about 6 inches, so they're going to get fairly large with that torpedo-shaped body. Little bit of yellow on the tail as well as red in the face as they mature, and they're just an absolutely gorgeous fish to add into your aquarium. So as you guys may or may not know, Kevin is a huge fan of barbs, and tiger barbs specifically. Me? I am not a huge fan of barbs, or tiger barbs specifically, but that being said, these guys walked in the door today, and I am in awe. These are the platinum green tiger barbs. So instead of just your normal green tiger barb with that dark emerald color, these guys are going to be almost a like pastel green color with that bright orange fin on bottom. I love these guys. I think they're super cool color morph. So yeah, you'll never hear me say that I love tiger barbs except right now. Come get these guys. Next up are Pictus cats. So I like these guys. This is the polka dot variety. They get about 5 inches long. Like most of your catfish, if it fits in its mouth, it's going to eat it. So be careful what you put these guys with. But they are really good scavengers, eating leftover food and fish waste and things like that. So if you need some kind of a cleanup crew for the bottom of your tank, these guys do a really good job. Alright, so here we have some juvenile blood parrot cichlids. These guys are really neat. We haven't really had a lot of them in lately, which is why I'm showing them in the video. I think this is the first time in about 2 or 3 months that Kevin was actually able to order these guys and get them in at a decent price point. They are aggressive, so you do want to make sure that you keep them with compatible tank mates, but super cool little guys, fun shaped head. I like them. Alright, so we got in some good sized Ryukins this week. Ryukins are a type of fancy goldfish. These guys are calico, which I like. As Kevin always points out, there are never going to be 2 identical calico fish because of the fact that all calico patterns are different. So you can get like 5 calico fish in your tank, and every one of them you're going to be able to tell apart from the other, which is super cool. I like the Ryukins quite a bit. They are a little quicker than some of your other fancy goldfish varieties just because of the way the body is shaped. Beautiful fish though. Alright, and lastly we got in a really nice variety of fancy guppies this week. Lots of local breeders have brought in some really nice fish, so we want to go ahead and share these with you guys as well. A couple of the people that work here have actually gone through and taken some home so they can start breeding them too, just because of how beautiful these guys are. There's a ton of different variants in here, as well as some Endler guppy hybrids, which is super cool. But you got to come in and check them out because the video just isn't going to do these guys justice.
Hi everyone, it's Reagan here with Fishy Business. I'm going to show you some saltwater fish that I got in. I've been getting in a pretty cool assortment of things for you guys, and that makes me really happy, and I think you guys are liking the things I'm getting in because you're coming in and buying it. So keep doing it. Keep coming in and buying my fish so I can get you more. Let's go look at them. Okay guys, I know I pointed this beautiful fish out last week, and I actually gave it the wrong name. This is not a candy-striped hogfish. Upon further investigation, this is actually the red cigar wrasse. So the red cigar wrasse is very similar in coloration and body shape to the candy-striped hogfish, but they are in fact different fish. So this red cigar wrasse gets to a max size of only 4 inches. So this guy is almost 4 inches already, so he's not going to grow a whole lot more than what you see right here in the video. These guys are, for the most part, very peaceful wrasses. I would be careful adding other wrasses to the tank with him Most wrasses don't enjoy having other wrasses in the tank, and I would guess that this guy is very similar, so I would keep him the only wrasse in your tank. If he's the only wrasse, he'll definitely be a very peaceful fish and shouldn't bother anybody. These guys are also not deemed reef compatible, only due to the fact that they will pick off an invert or two every now and then, which are your crab, snails, and shrimp. But with this beautiful sunset colored coloration, this is a gorgeous, beautiful, fantastic specimen. Not something that I can order, and I did get it in accidentally. So I would definitely think about coming to add the beautiful red stripe or the red cigar wrasse to your tank. So this interesting green lump of an individual is actually a colored anglerfish. So anglers can come in a variety of colors, and this one just happens to be a beautiful olive green. These guys don't get large enough to ever outgrow a BioCube, so these guys typically only get, they say 9 inches, which seems kind of big, but they don't swim around, they don't have swim bladders. They're going to do exactly what you see here in this tank. They're going to perch themselves on the rock or in a cave and not move around. So I would recommend him being the only fish in the tank if you want to put him in a BioCube, but you can keep one of these in the BioCube. Oh my gosh, look, you can see his little thing on top, which is why he's called an anglerfish. You can see him moving it around. That means he wants to hunt. That means he's hungry and he's looking for food. Oh my gosh, this is so cool that I caught it on video. Anglerfish need a lot of rock work in the tank. They love little perches, they love caves to hide in. So if you want to do an angler, any type of angler, make sure you have a lot of rock work in there as well. They will eat anything that fits in their mouth, so only house this guy with fish that he cannot eat. And a lot of times to get them started eating, like this beautiful gentleman right here, ghost shrimp is going to be the easiest thing to get them to eat, and he is already eating ghost shrimp as well. Speaking of baby fish, this is another baby fish. This is a super small juvenile clown grouper, also known as the leaf lip grouper. These guys max out at over 1 foot long and about 1 foot 2 inches, so a big tank for them. They are not the hardiest of fish. They are definitely more of an expert level fish. One reason for that is because they are actually poisonous. So if these guys get super stressed out or when they die, they release a mucus, like a slime, off of their bodies that is poisonous. So for that reason, they are definitely more of an expert level fish, just because we want to make sure they don't stress out so they don't release that poisonous mucus in your tank. These guys eat anything that fits in their mouth, like all groupers, so definitely a fish-only tank, and it definitely housed with fish that are going to be bigger than its mouth that he won't want to eat as a snack, an expensive snack I might add. And I always like to just verify that most of your groupers, including this guy, they're not aggressive fish, but they are very predatory, eating anything that fits in their mouth and anything they want to if they're hungry, but they are not aggressive in nature. But your clown grouper is going to be the star piece of your tank. Just make sure you have a tank large enough with big enough fish that he won't snack on. Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be pointing out 2 fish, and the first one is this cute little teeny tiny clown trigger. So clown triggers, even though this one is super teeny tiny, clown triggers can get very large. They typically max out at about 1.5 feet. Full grown is typically 1 foot 8 inches. So a super big trigger, and a trigger that is going to be a little bit more aggressive. So definitely if you want a clown trigger, which they are one of the most popular triggers in the aquarium trade because of their coloration and personality, I would definitely consider doing a fish-only aquarium, as he will eat your inverts, as well as making him one of the last fish you add to your tank. The other fish in here that I want to point out is this beautiful coral hogfish. So hogfish are not reef safe either. Neither of these guys will touch your corals, but inverts they will eat all of. Crab, snails, and shrimp. So fish only for this guy as well. Coral hogfish, their personalities and aggression level kind of vary depending on what you have in the tank with them. So if you keep this guy with aggressive fish, he can be more aggressive and hold his own. If you want to put him in more of a semi-aggressive tank with, you know, butterflies, tanks, things like that, he can be more semi-aggressive. So he's really cool in that he can kind of fit into most of the aquariums you can put him in. Meaty foods for him, absolutely. Things like clams on the half shell for your trigger and your coral hog. Both are excellent color-wise. You've got a lot of color, and these guys, both of these fish are very active fish, so you're not gonna have to worry about never seeing them. So I've got a lot of cute little babies in right now. And this little baby is a baby tamini tang, which is also a bristletooth tang, great for eating algae in your aquariums. Your tamini tangs are absolutely reef safe, will not touch your coral or your inverts. They only get to be about 6 inches, so they are definitely one of your smaller tangs that you can have in a tank. These guys do need algae a couple times a week like most tangs, as they are omnivores and need that algae along with the meaty foods like mysis shrimp. And this is a very peaceful tang as well. So if you're looking for a small tang to add to a reef tank that is very peaceful, your tamini tang is going to be the best choice.
Okay, so one last thing before I let you guys go. We got in 4 150s. Right now, while pricing is still lower than it's gonna be on some of these larger tanks, if you're looking to upgrade or you're looking for a new aquarium, this is a perfect time for it. In the last 2 weeks, we've sold 2 210s, 2 180s, and right now this is a great time to get a big tank. And right now I've got special pricing on 4 150s that just came in today. So anyway, till next week, God bless and have a great week.